All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Office Hours with Career Development. Today, we have Kate Mulvey with us from United States Liability Insurance. Kate is here to talk about her company and how USLI is handling everything that's going on today, with the coronavirus. And so to get started, Kate, why don't you give us kind of an overview as to what your company is all about?
Sure. Thanks, Andrea. I'm happy to be here today. I am Kate Mulvey from USLI. USLI does stand for United States Liability Insurance. We insure small businesses throughout the United States and in Canada, which ironically in these times, our company has been even more impacted because small businesses have been so affected. So we really have taken that personally as to our clients are being impacted. So we insure small businesses for their liability insurance. We are a Berkshire Hathaway company. If you're familiar with Warren Buffett, we're one of the Berkshire, part of the Berkshire family since the year 2000. We are primarily, our home office is based in Wayne, Pennsylvania, which is right in the King of Prussia area. But we do have offices, branch offices outside of Chicago, Austin, Texas, Denver, Northern California, Southern California, and as I mentioned earlier, we have an office outside of Toronto in Mississauga. So we do have a lot, different offices, people everywhere, but the main, about 900 of our 1,200 employees are in the Wayne office. We have everything from underwriting, which is our core business, to claims, sales and marketing, IT, legal and compliance, accounting. So we even have all the support teams that help the underwriting, which is the core business, move forward every day. So we don't outsource anything. Everything is done in-house. We do have a college help program, which is essentially our internship program, and that's the program that I run. But we like to think of it as something more robust than just an internship. Our program is really designed, we hire college students to work with us part-time while they're in school. So we actually would prefer that you don't work for just one semester or for just a summer, because we want to hire you as a part-time employee to help you, work your way through school, earn some money, learn about the professional world. And then we get a lot out of it as well, because we're also able to, get the talent in the door. And a lot of times that's the number one place that we look to hire for full-time. So for us, it's a win-win. For the students, it can be a win-win. So there's really a lot of benefit to it. So we have things have changed because of COVID-19. So normally, on a year-round basis, we have anywhere from 150 to 180 college students. They are coming from 2- and 4-year colleges and universities. And all, the requirements are pretty broad. We're not only looking for business majors, we actually will accept any major. We will teach you our business. We will teach you what we need to teach you. We're just looking for hardworking people who want to get that professional experience while they're in school. So the major, there's no requirement there. And we've had anything from music majors to biology majors, education majors, communication majors, you name it, that have come into our college help program. And believe it or not, we've actually had some converts. Somebody had started college as a music major and just so happened got placed in IT to help do answer phones and so forth, but ended up really loving IT, switched her major junior year and became an IT major with a music minor. Mm-hmm. And now she works for us full time in the IT department. So that's just an example of what, the major doesn't matter too much to us. We're just, again, looking for people who want to get that experience. So the major is not a requirement. Because the students are working part-time year-round, we know school comes first. So you get to make your own schedule. Every semester, your class schedule is going to change. Therefore, your work schedule is most likely going to have to change. All we ask is that you can work a minimum of 12 hours a week, but you can work up to 29 hours a week. And that number doesn't change. We don't increase the hours past 29 because you are classified as a part-time employee. So we do cap it at 29 hours. As far as, it is paid. We start our students at $16 an hour, which we did a lot of research within the area and found that it's pretty competitive hourly wage. In addition to that, we also have free lunch. We don't have a dress code. We have a free fitness center. So there's also a lot of perks in addition to that hourly rate. If you have student loans, which 75% of our college students do, we have a program in which we can withhold some tax-free money for you in accounting, and arbitrarily we chose $3.25 an hour. Mm-hmm. So $3.25 an hour is withheld for every hour you work, and then twice a year we send a lump sum check to your university, to financial aid, and they will apply it to the open loan that you've taken for that year. The IRS allows us to do that because it is going towards your student loans or tuition. So that's a huge benefit that students are taking advantage of. And it's actually not optional to opt out. If you want to work for us and you have student loans, you are in our loan program. But most people don't want to opt out of it because they know how important it is to start tackling those loans. We have students in every single department, anywhere from the executive office to even at night. Some students can't work during the day, but we have a facilities team who empties the recycling, the paper, and so forth. And we actually have students who help out in the evening and anywhere in between. So we have, I can't keep up with the demand that our team leaders have for having students on their team, which is a really great problem to have. We've been hiring college students for about 20 years now, and over time, we've really learned to depend on them and find that they can bring so much value, and they can help move the ball forward every day to the success of USLI. So we really value our student program. And so there is an application process. We just get a little competitive because we can't hire everybody. So we have a screening process in which you submit an application online. It comes in directly to myself. I farm it out to my team, who then will contact every single candidate through email. And then through that, we'll decide, does it make sense to go through the first step of the interview process, which is a phone interview. And then through that phone interview experience, if we find that it makes sense to bring you in, we bring you in for 1 to 2 person interviews, depending on our schedules. And then we also have an applicant assessment that we have everybody take. And it's just basic skills, just to ensure that, you have the capability to do the work that we are asking. Mm-hmm. So we just need to make sure that you're able to handle that. However, we don't have a GPA requirement. So we will look to make sure that you are enrolled in school. So we'll look at unofficial transcripts for proof of that. However, we don't need to know what your GPA is. So it sometimes takes the weight of the pressure of applying because it's something we're not looking at. Trying to think what else. That's basically the gist of it. I mean, and the other thing is the work. I may have alluded to this earlier, but the students are coming in and they are sitting with our full-time folks. They're not off in some wing with 100 other students, doing project-based work. The work that they're doing is sit with the team, and it is meaningful. They are trained. They are assigned a team leader. They are assigned a coach. They're very well supported. I know a lot of times students get nervous, like, what does the training look like? Am I just going to be thrown into this? And we as a company can't afford to just throw somebody into this work, right? The students are so detrimental to the team. So we need to make sure they're trained properly. So the training is very thorough. It's very well supported. So I wanted to make sure I said that. So that's kind of the high level of our, and I guess there's more. There's, a lot of times students are coming in, they might get nervous. I don't know anything about insurance. And so we say, that's fine. 98% of people coming into USLI don't know anything about insurance, myself included. When I started, I knew nothing about it. So we offer professional development in insurance. You can take insurance exams, and the company, USLI, will pay for those study materials, will pay for those exams, and we even give you a cash bonus when you pass it. So there's a lot of incentive to get your professional resume built at no cost to you, at something that does really cost a lot of money. And then we also offer, right now we're offering over 30 professional development courses. And those are things that we call power skills, which really you probably are familiar with. They're more of soft skills, but they're anything from communication skills, how to network, how to interview, how to receive feedback, how to give feedback, all these things that it doesn't matter what industry you're going into, what company you're going to work for. Employers are looking to make sure that candidates are possessing these types of skills. So we build it into our College Help program, meaning that if students want to take these courses or workshops, as we call them, that's actually an hour of their workday, meaning they get paid to take an interviewing skills class or a networking skills class. So we feel it's part of our job to prepare people for the future. And so we've chosen to make sure that we're paying the students for their time in those workshops.
Great.
Okay, could you talk about, obviously we're in a situation that is unprecedented, which is a word that we're all over using, but if you were to give some advice to some graduating seniors, students who are just finishing their college education and want to start their career, what would you say to them?
Sure. You can say it's unfortunate, and it is. But what I would say is, keep positive, right? This is going to keep evolving. So this isn't, just a dead end, right? It may not look the way you thought it would look, but that's okay, because life is always going to throw you curveballs. So I think to keep positive, keep networking. We have had people reaching out to us, and not that it is overbearing. In fact, those are the people that are on the forefront of our minds, who have reached out and said, "Hey, I'm still here. I'm looking for this. Even though our company might not be actively recruiting at this time and we're not interviewing, we will be again, right, at some point." So I can only speak for our status of us, but I would say, keep positive, keep networking, make sure you have your professional story ready to go, because you don't know where and when you'll be, whether it be virtually, whether it be at some social distance gathering coming up this summer, where people are going to ask you, you could just graduated, what's your plan? What have you been doing to prepare? And have that ready to go, because you just never know when, an unexpected opportunity is going to come your way. So be armed with that professional story. Be ready to talk about what you've done during this time. How have you spent that time? It's probably going to be my number one question when I start interviewing again, or even when I start talking to people. People want to know what you've been doing. If you just say, "I've been sitting around binge watching Netflix," which we all know we probably are doing a lot of that, to a potential employer, like, did you pick up a new hobby? Did you try something that was uncomfortable for you because you were stuck at home? Did you pick up whatever? So really try to think about what did you do? How did you utilize this time? I also think be open to new ideas. Try not to have so many expectations of what you want and what you expect, but be nimble. Because we all don't know how things are going to go. So it's the open-mindedness, it's the thinking outside the box, it's being proactive. Those are the things I would just really recommend that you hone in on, because you are going to want to set yourselves apart from all the other graduates that are also job seeking. So those would be some of the highlighted things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's some great advice for our, recent grads, because I'm sure they're all, kind of deer in the headlights right now. But what do you think about some of our current undergrads that aren't at that point yet? What advice do you have for them?
Well, I would also, all the above, what I just said, I really would. And I think that it's also realizing that, put yourself out there. Jobs will be there. They are there. You know, you just have to think about how do you go about finding them, internships and things like that. I think thinking outside the box, learning how to have a story. I mean, I really, in all honesty, I think both of those branches for the May grads goes for the undergrads too. And be patient. I know I actually talked to a lot of our college help who, when they transitioned to online learning back in March or April, and you know, the majority of them were disappointed with that and not expecting it, and it wasn't the experience that they thought they were going to have. And you know, it might not be ideal, but you know, you want to show your potential internship or whatever, that how you can handle it and how you can easily, you know, how you can handle things that don't go according to plan, you know. And so learn that now, because your life is going to be filled with all this. So I mean, hopefully not as dramatic as this, but you know, that will be. So
That's great advice. You know, you always have to think of, like we always tell students, when you think about interview questions, maybe talk about a time that something did not go the way you planned. Well, nothing went the way any of us planned. So I think we're ripe for a lot of good stories to share. But that's great advice, Kate.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so kind of along those same lines, what is your company doing? Like, how are you guys adjusting during this kind of time of COVID-19? And like, you know, what are your next steps?
I heard something early on that they said how an employer, you know, handles, you know, times of crisis that aren't planned. Really, can show their true color, how they treat their people, and so forth. And I can say, and hopefully it's not a surprise to any of you who are, you know, I know, you know, USLI Wells. It was a very trying time, and especially back in March when we were figuring it all out. It was going to just be 2 weeks, and now here it is, the end of May, and we're still working remotely. But you know what? The thing that, you know, Tom Nerney, who's our CEO, he really motivated us, and he was in communication with us regularly and inspiring us to kind of what I said, you know, think outside the box, think of new ideas. You know, this is how new ideas, sometimes great ideas, come about. So really motivated all of us to just say, okay, we're good. You know, this is uncomfortable right now and not normal, but we have jobs, and we should, you know, it's an inconvenience, but it's really nothing more than that. And so really, as true to how he always is, the message comes from the top down, the positivity comes from the top down. We haven't skipped a beat with our health and wellness. You know, USLI is very much into their health and wellness, where our Slancha, which is our fitness center, is running, you know, programs to stay fit at home. How do you stay fit at home? They're running live classes that we can do boot camp and, you know, kickboxing and yoga and all this stuff. They're doing challenges, you know, a health challenge. We did a talent show, a virtual talent show for our community members, you know, so we all sat with our families, which was great, at like 5:30 on a Tuesday night, and we watched like community members. And honestly, we never did a talent show in the office. So this was just so great to see. And again, the message has been, you know, make sure we're doing more video chat. Let's not just call. Let's make sure we're connecting, you know, face to face, so that we're having more of a connection, because we are missing that void, you know. And I think they've also been extremely empathetic to know that we're all home, and that it's not just work, it's home too, and whatever it is that you have going on at home, and just recognizing that everybody's got some empathy for that. So, you know, business is business, you know, obviously it's going to go up and down and so forth. We feel very blessed that we have 71 college help that are working remotely, which we haven't had before. And this is kind of also a trial, because we used to not permit it. So I feel really great about that. And as of right now, forecasting out anything past tomorrow, I can't even say.
That is so true. We're all in the same boat with, you know, what tomorrow's going to bring. So we just have to take it a day at a time. But it's wonderful that you were able to, you know, have your college help staff work remotely. So it was a great opportunity for them because, some internships had to totally be canceled, we've heard. And so it's wonderful that that's happening and continuing. So
Yeah.
we'll just see what happens for the fall.
Yes, absolutely. We are still receiving applications. While I say we're not recruiting, we're not actively recruiting. So we did pull our postings down from Handshake because we didn't want to mislead. However, we do still get applications, and we are reaching out to those people, letting them know, we got their application. We are currently at a pause, and that we are adding them to our database. And we know at some point we're going to need to reach out to, now we don't want them waiting around, but we also want them to know that we are building a pipeline, and that when the time comes, we will reach out. So I wouldn't discourage anyone from applying, but if you do apply, that's the message you'll receive as of right now.
And what is the best way for them to apply, Kate? Online?
Yeah, so we have our student page, which is usli.com/students plural. And if you type that in, it'll take you right to our student page. You'll see a tab for application, and then it's right there. It's a very straightforward. You do need a resume. You do not need a cover letter, but there is an essay that we ask you to write. Other than that, it's just straightforward information.
That's great. So at least, even though you're not on Handshake, you're trying to build your pipeline for the future. So it's great, news to have, and we can share that with students that we're working directly with right now.
Sure. Absolutely.
We have a few minutes left. Nancy or Ryan, do you have any other questions that you want to add? Anything?
I think that was really helpful, Kate. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
And anything else that you want to share with maybe our students or alumni or anything, just to let them know where you guys stand?
Yeah, USLI will not be going away. We are doing our job to make sure that we are staying in contact with the colleges and universities, that the message that I'm delivering today is what we're delivering to all the schools that we work with. So keep your eye on us. If you haven't heard of us, Google us and check it out. But it's something where I think, I just keep saying we're paused. We're paused from a recruitment standpoint, but this isn't going away. In fact, I have team leaders still emailing me every day. I need more students. Can I have more students? But we're just being cautious with how many we're employing right now for obvious reasons. But so we know that there will be the demand again. Now we know, the good news is we know that the students can have the autonomy to work from home, which we didn't really look into prior. So I think if you earn it, it could be a privilege to have as an intern at USLI. So there's been, I think, all in all, when we look back, there will probably, again, be a lot of positives. We're just trying to get through it right now, but we'll be out there in the Philadelphia area recruiting, whether it's virtually or in person, hopefully at some point. You will continue to see us and hear about the need for more students.
All right, great. Well, thanks so much for joining us for our office hours today. And we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kate. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.